So yeah, the first card you have your past is the Queen of Wands. Yeah, this feels really, really, really strong actually. Lots and lots of strength I'm getting here. It feels like bouncing back. Bouncing back, and I think this is you. Obviously, this is representing you with all these lions on this card. And yeah, when I say bouncing back, I've kind of got this image in my mind of when you have a blow a ball or a balloon or something like that, and it's kind of floating on top of the water, and you try and push it down, and then it just bounces back up again. And so that's how you are now. And I think you've been through something like that before. And you've bounced back before. Something went terrible in your life before, you bounced back, and now you're doing it now. I think there was a bad relationship and you really went really downhill at one time. You bounced back from that, and you're bouncing back again. Everyone's going through a lot, and it feels like you're really quite strong around this whole thing. That's kind of what I'm getting here. So yeah, I'm getting something. Yeah, it feels like work actually. And it feels like there's some kind of rival around you, maybe causing you problems while you're at work. And I'm actually just seeing avoiding eye contact. And if that's you doing that, if you're avoiding eye contact with someone, or if you were, because this is in the past, it's not like you at all. It's not like you at all. You're a really straightforward person, and so is this queen. She's looking at us straight in the eye. But yeah, it feels like this. They must have been quite a bad person, because it feels like you really couldn't even bear to look at them. That's kind of what I'm getting. And again, it's not like you to be like that. So if that resonates with you, there must be quite a difficult person to be around. And maybe you said to yourself something like, you were with them around this annoying person. You said, oh, I wish something had happened so I wouldn't have to look at them ever again. Because there's this thing about having to look at them and you can't even bear it. And it looks like something like that might have happened, because it feels like you're not around them now for some reason. So, it might be that you're working from home, or they are, or maybe you both are. So yeah, and you're getting a lot of your strength back, and you're strong anyway, but I think because you don't have that energy drain around you anymore, you're getting a lot of your strength back because of that. And yeah, there's something else you're thinking of doing. You might already be doing this. It's outside of this workplace, but it's still work related. And I'm just looking at this cat in this card. There's a black cat there, and cats land on their feet. If they jump off a really high fence, they land back on their feet, and that's what you're doing. So, And I think you're doing that because of this thing you're going to be doing outside of your workplace. So there's a lot of upheaval around this workplace, lots of struggles. There might be something that's going to happen around this workplace in the future, and a lot of businesses are going down. It might be that, might not be that extreme, but it might be that. So maybe that's why I'm getting this other thing that you're doing is going to help you to land on your feet with this black cat here. So it might be something else outside of that that helps you to do that. And it looks like you might be planning that. It looks like you might have already been planning to get out of this workplace and do that. And I'm really getting this, I'm standing strong, and everything else feels like it's falling down, but I'm here, I'm strong. And I think you're really feeling that around your workplace. There's a lot of dissatisfaction there. It's not just that annoying person, it's other things as well. It feels quite bloated, if that makes sense, heavy. And, that's how it feels around your workplace. Might be lots of inefficiency, things like that are wrong there. And you feel like, things could be done in a better way, but I have no say. So, if I was by myself, I can have a better say in what I'm doing. And I think that might be what's happening to you, or that's what you're planning, or that's what you're going to be doing at some time. So that's what I'm seeing there. And I'm seeing that in the Queen of Pentacles as well, because she's all by herself. And she's focusing on her coin. And I'm getting that mind your own business. Mind your own business. That's kind of what I'm getting when I look at this. And that's what she's doing. She's minding her own business. She's taking care of her coin, and she's nurturing the coin. It's like she's caring for it like it's a baby. So the way you feel about this work that you're going to be doing for yourself, it's way, way more caring, nurturing, loving. You're going to put everything into that, and you weren't able to do that in this other job. I don't know when this is all going to happen, but there is some kind of transition that's going to happen here. So Yeah, there are lots and lots of things on the horizon actually. Money opportunities, obviously this is about money, and you've got the Nine of Pentacles there as well. So yeah, lots of things on the horizon. And a lot of people think, oh, in this climate, it's terrible, this thing's happening. There's nothing there, no opportunities. But with you, you're very good at seeing things where other people can't see them. You're good at thinking about things in a different way. So you see opportunities. And, I think because you've got this other way of thinking, I think you might have come up against a lot of opposition for thinking that way. Not just in terms of work, there's that, but I think with other things as well. You've got a lot of these very unusual opinions, and there have been times when you've had to kind of rein that in and not say things, but usually you're quite straightforward, but you know when to say things and you know when not to say things. You're very clever that way. But if you look on the horizon of this card, there's a snowy mountain in the background, and obviously it's springtime, and it's springtime now, obviously. And springtime is when the snow starts to melt off the mountain, and then the water flows into new flowers and plants, and everything starts to grow. So these are these new opportunities, and I think when you get into this work that you do by yourself, that I'm seeing here, that you're probably going to do, it's everywhere here. I think you're going to expand. I think you might end up having someone work with you. I think it might be family. I think you might be getting someone in your family to help you at some time, because this is a really caring queen, very, very nurturing. So there's some kind of mutual help here. So it might be that you employ someone in your family. It might be that they need some work, which a lot of people are going to be doing, or they are now. And so you're going to help them out. They're going to help you out as well. So it's kind of this mutual love and care. And yeah, I'm getting family as well, because obviously this is a mother and she's caring. So, she's a mother, so we've got family. And so that's kind of what I'm getting. And obviously this is all going to happen later on when this time passes, when people are able to work together again. It makes me really sad to say that, actually. It really feels like, when this time passes and we can go out again, sometimes I'm okay, but sometimes I feel really sad, when I think about it. But anyway, that's fine. Everyone goes through ups and downs. I'm human. I do as well. But yeah, lots of things are on the horizon for you. And I don't normally say this, but I'm just looking at this little rabbit. There's a rabbit on this card, just in the bottom right-hand corner. So, luck's on your side. I don't normally say things like that, but that just came into my head when I saw that rabbit. So yeah, luck's on your side. So it's going to go really well for you. It really is. And it feels as if you're keeping a lot of your feelings to yourself as well at this time. Again, you're quite straightforward, but you've got these kind of out of the ordinary, that's a strange way to say it, I know, but kind of out of the norm, out of the normal opinions about things. And so you're used to keeping things to yourself when you need to, when it's necessary, and then there are certain people you can talk to about different things, your opinions and things like that. But this is about your emotions, and I think you're keeping these to yourself. I think you're conserving your emotions, and it feels like you knew you had to do that because something was coming up where you were going to have to talk about emotions or deal with your emotions and deal with someone else's emotions. And yeah, I'll just talk about the Two of Cups here, because that's what this is all about, I think. And so yeah, if you're in a relationship or if you're in some kind of love connection, I'm not sure where it is. It might just be you're talking to someone. It might be some kind of on and off thing, because I'm getting, if you look at this couple, I'll just lift it up so you can see. So yes, if you look at this couple, they're far away from this house that's right in the background. And houses in tarot, they can represent solid relationships, setting up a home, being in a home together, but it's far away from this couple. So that kind of solid relationship with this person's kind of far away from you right now. So you're probably separate from them. And so yeah, there's some kind of talk that's coming up. So you're separate and there's some kind of big talk that's coming up, I think. And that's why you're conserving your energy, conserving your emotions to kind of deal with this, I think. So you knew this was coming up. And it is coming up. It feels like a really deep conversation. So yes, someone wants to come to some kind of place of getting together with you, talking about deep things, healing together. That's what they want to do with this caduceus is here. So they want to kind of heal together with you. So obviously you're separated and they want to come together. They want to have this big talk. Now, I can't see whether this is you or them, but one of you is going to reach out first. It feels like one of you is going to be the one who reaches out, and the other one's kind of holding back a bit in the beginning. And I think that might be you actually, because I keep on getting these feelings of you wanting to protect your feelings and kind of standing back a little bit. So I think that might be you. But the conversation's definitely going to come. It's going to happen. So that's what I'm seeing here. So yeah, you're already preparing yourself, I think. I think you kind of know that this might come in. I think you know this person might come and talk to you. I think you can feel this. You're quite intuitive. Intuitive. So if you're feeling that, if you're feeling that that's coming, you're right. It is coming. I can see that here. You're going to have a talk with this person you're separated from. So yeah, the first card you have your present is the Moon. So yeah, very, very complex card. You know, it can be a really deep, really moody card. So yeah, a few different things here. So yeah, there's work all over this reading. So I'm seeing work here as well. A few different things, but work's one of these things. So yeah, I think you're probably already getting this, because I'm seeing lots of messages. I'm seeing lots of talk coming in. It's unnecessary talk. It's kind of annoying. It feels annoying to you, all this talk that's coming in. It might be that someone's deliberately trying to mess you up or bother you or something like that, because there's this really difficult person, and I was seeing them in the Queen of Wands, kind of crazy making, actually making you feel crazy and annoying and difficult. And so yeah, they're probably coming from your workplace, and they're probably, you know, if you're working from home, it might be that they're calling you at home or wherever you are. They're kind of trying to distract you, and not just literally distracting you. They're doing that anyway, I think, or they're trying to. But it's deeper than that. It's almost like they know that you're trying to get to somewhere better. I think they feel that, and they're trying to drag you back again. They don't want you to go to where you're trying to go. Because, you know, if you look at the way the moon's kind of shining over this whole scene, I think what's happening is they can see that. They can see your shine. They can see what you're capable of. And they want to stop that. They want to bring you back, hold you back, or something like that, stop you from going forward. There might be a little bit of jealousy here, I think, with this person, because they can see you're capable of a lot more. They really can, and that's kind of what I'm getting. So expect a lot of this to happen, because I'm seeing a lot of this kind of interference, lots of messages, phone calls, all that kind of thing, especially if you're working from home, because it feels like they can't reach people in the way they used to, especially you. So they're trying to kind of latch on. It's like they're trying to latch onto your energy. It's really horrible. It gives me a horrible feeling when I think of that, this horrible person latching onto your energy. But they're trying to do that. They're trying to do that. And so what the message here is in this card is, you've got to be a bit like this lobster in this card. You know, he's coming out of the water, and he's got these two interfering animals, a wolf and a dog or whatever, at the side, and they're kind of howling and barking, all being horrible, giving him all this noise, and he's just got to walk past. So that's what you've got to do. You've just got to walk past that. Don't pay them any attention. And if this is you, if this is all resonating with you, I think this is symbolic. Yeah, it's symbolic of where you're going, because you're going to leave all this behind you, all the stress, all the negative energy, and you're walking up this golden path like this lobster. So just remember that if you're going through, you know, some really frustrating feelings, all this noise, all this person's bothering you, just remember you're going to ascend, you're going to come out of all of this, you're really going to rise up. So, you know, it's going to be all behind you one day. So that, just remember that might keep you going if you're really frustrated. Okay, so yeah, something else here. This is the other thing in this card. So I was getting this really deep conversation in the Two of Cups. So what I'm getting here is, with this conversation, there might actually be a few tears, you know, because there are tears coming down here that I'm seeing now. Lots of different moods. You know, they're in this moon. And I think they've been thinking about this for a long time. It's like they've been thinking about this in their mind, almost preparing, going around and around in their mind. Maybe they're thinking, oh, maybe if I say this, this will happen. Maybe if I do this. And they've been going over and over this, I think. There might be a few, how do I say this? Maybe unrealistic expectations about where they think this is going to go. Or where the conversations are going to go, or what your reaction's going to be. Because it really feels like they've really thought about this a lot. They've spent a lot of energy, a lot of mind energy on this. So for them, by the time you connect again and you have this talk with them, it's like they'll be a lot further along in their heart and in their mind and in their preparedness than you will be, if that makes sense. So you're going to be in two different places, and that's why I'm getting these unrealistic expectations. Because for them, they've already worked all this out, and you haven't. So they're like, oh, okay, so I've worked this out, I know what I'm doing, and let's do this. So I think they're probably going to be a little bit more enthusiastic than you, and they're probably going to want things to go a lot faster than you. So that's kind of what I'm getting there. So just prepare for that if you're ready for that talk with them. And with the Nine of Pentacles that's just under here, I may as well just talk about that now. So yeah, obviously this woman's alone and she's really content. She's in this beautiful garden, all these coins around her, beautiful bird. She's got everything she needs there. So I think you've grown, because I think you're with this person and there was a separation and you've gotten used to that. So you've gotten used to being in this space alone without this person. And so, yeah, you're probably going to want to hold back. I think you're probably going to want to take this slowly when this all comes in. And I'm getting this rush coming from them. It almost feels like they're trying to rush you. And if you look at this woman, she doesn't look like she wants to be rushed at all. She's the opposite. She's like, I don't want to be rushed. I like where I am. I'm happy in this garden. And so I'm not saying you want to be on your own forever. I'm not saying that at all. But, you're coming up as someone who's very, very strong. I was seeing that in the Queen of Wands. Independent. That's what that's about as well. And that's what this is about. Someone who's really strong. Someone who's independent, happy by themselves. And so, yeah, maybe you got into something really quickly before. Maybe it was with this person, might have been with someone else. But because it feels like you got into something really quickly, and you gave a lot really, really quickly, very early on, and then you lost a lot quickly as well. And so it's if that's happened to you, I can see why you don't want that to happen again. So that's another reason why you might be a bit cautious. And they're all pentacles all around this woman, so she's thinking about the practical side over the emotional side. So they're coming up as the more emotional side. They're coming up as the moon. So they're a lot more emotional. They're thinking about love and feelings and all, emotions and all that. And you're coming up as the more practical side. So there's a little bit of a conflict. Well, I don't know about a conflict, but you just see things in different ways, I think. So yeah, a little bit difficult. It just feels like you're being rushed and you're going to kind of resist that. So that's kind of what I'm getting there. So the last card you have here present is the King of Wands. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm seeing this a little bit more now. I'm seeing this a little clearer now. So yeah, if this is you, this situation that you're in with this love connection, just looking at this card and the Moon card as well, looking at the two of them together, I can see why you might hold back a bit actually, because the King of Wands, he's obviously a really passionate king, and he can be a little bit backwards and forwards, a little bit unreliable sometimes, and he can be a bit selfish as well. He can think about himself. And if you look at the King of Wands, just behind his head, there's a lizard, and it's turning around and around and around. And so it's right behind his head, and it's turning around. So he's thinking, his mind's turning around. He's thinking, and he's thinking. And then when he's ready, this is what the King of Wands does. He jumps up and he takes action. So he sits and thinks and thinks and thinks, and then he's like, well, I'm ready now. And he jumps up.